Hey, this is John with Fathercraft.
Hey guys, Andrew here with Dadverb.
Andrew from Dadverb?
Yeah man, I thought you might want just a little bit of help with this video. Well, I've reviewed a bunch of monitors on my channel as well, and I'm sure you can relate with this. I get asked a handful of questions over and over again.
How are you doing that?
Yeah, so I thought I'd jump in and help answer some of those questions with you.
You know what? Sweet. I don't know how you're doing that, but I'm super excited that you're here.
Yeah man, anytime.
Well, as you may have guessed by now, in this video, Andrew and I are going to answer the 7 most frequently asked questions we get about baby monitors, and then I'm going to dad-splain to him why I'm right and he's wrong when it comes to most of his answers.
Hey.
And I'm only mostly joking. But before we jump completely in, I want to mention that you can go to fathercraft.com/showdown to get a super handy Wi-Fi baby monitor cheat sheet that details everything you need to know about some of our favorite Wi-Fi baby monitors. So check it out. That's fathercraft.com/showdown. All right, man, you ready?
Yeah man, enough with the intro. Let's get into it.
We're gonna start off by drawing a line in the sand. Wi-Fi or traditional baby monitors? What you got?
For me, I've said it a lot on my channel, but I gotta go with Wi-Fi monitors. Usually better quality, more bells and whistles, remote viewing. I gotta go with Wi-Fi monitors for sure.
I'm gonna go ahead and jump in here and say that newer traditional monitors have come a long way from the likes of monitors that must not be named. For instance, the Eufy Space View allows you to set up customized alerts by creating detection zones similar to what Wi-Fi monitors offer. So definitely something worth noting.
Should I even ask this one? Do you recommend Wi-Fi or non-Wi-Fi monitors?
The quick and simple answer, Wi-Fi monitors are what I would recommend. Now, I know it's a bit privilegey for me to just write off non-Wi-Fi monitors as if they don't provide any value. Of course they do. The picture quality has come a long way since the dark days of the Infant Optics regime. They're less expensive, they're easier to set up than Wi-Fi monitors. You've also got combo options like the Motorola Connect that have both a non-connected and connected option. So again, there's a lot to be said about these monitors if that's the route you end up going with.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing that we should mention is if your Wi-Fi goes down, your picture's not gonna go down with it because it's a non-connected monitor. Whereas if it is a connected monitor, your picture goes down, your feed goes down, and that's not too fun. John, let me kick this question back to you. Is there anything that you can do about your connected monitors going down when your Wi-Fi goes down?
Yeah, so there are many reasons why you may lose internet connection, which I won't get into in this answer, but just because you lose internet connection doesn't mean that your wireless router just quit working. So when you do lose internet connection, the Nanit Pro and more recently the Miku Pro provide what's called a local view. So in the event that your connection goes down, but you still have power running to your wireless router, then these monitors still will be able to pick up that signal and use their local networks to provide a local feed. All right, the next question we get asked quite frequently is around battery life, specifically with using your phone as the parent unit. So Andrew, does using your phone as the parent unit cause a significant amount of drain on the battery of your phone?
So I'd say there's 2 answers to this question, obviously, because we've been dealing with connected and non-connected monitors. The easier one to answer is gonna be non-connected monitors. They have dedicated parent units where you can stream video feeds for a long period of time. That's what they're designed for, and they're meant to last overnight. You can watch a video feed on the Eufy Space View for at least 8 hours. So that's a great thing. Some other monitors out there, not so much, but some boast high battery life. Now, connected monitors. The way that you're streaming in that video feed is through your phone. And unfortunately, when you're doing that for long periods of time, it absolutely slays your battery. So connected monitors aren't really conducive to long-term viewing. Now, there are some workarounds to that. The first is you can use an old tablet or an iPad and have that constantly connected to power so it doesn't drain your phone. Or you can also use something like an Echo Show, which does pair with some connected monitors, including Nanit. Now, I will say if you don't plan on constantly streaming a video feed through your phone, which you probably shouldn't, and you mostly plan on using that continuous background audio monitoring, then it will do minimal drainage on your phone.
So we're both gonna take a stab at this next question because I'm sure we have some different perspectives. That being said, what's the most important feature in a baby monitor?
So for me, I'm primarily looking for 2 things. The first is the quality of your night vision because you're probably looking at your baby more at night than during the day. You want good frame rate, resolution, all that stuff. But for me, the most important is gonna be continuous audio monitoring or background audio monitoring or whatever you wanna call it. Mostly because you're not always able to have eyes on the baby at all hours of the night or during the day or whenever, but you can always be hearing for the baby. So that's rustling or crying. It's really important to be able to hear those kinds of things for me. So that is the feature that I look for the most, and it is the feature that is widely available across all monitors now. But if it doesn't have that, then steer clear.
For me, it's having access to sleep data. Monitors like the Nanit Pro and the Miku Pro offer extremely useful sleep information that allow you to understand how well your baby is sleeping at night so you can make informed decisions about their day. The Nanit Pro actually takes a step further by providing customized sleep tips based on the analysis that's done. Now that said, I've been informed by the kind folks at Miku that they are releasing what they call Nanit Insights on steroids. And I was lucky enough to get a sneak peek at what they will look like, and let me tell you, woo! They weren't joking. It's basically a complete overhaul of what they've got now, and I'm fairly confident in saying that this is a huge leap forward for them when it comes to sleep analytics. So stay tuned for that. All right, question number 6. Now this is similar to the last question, and I think we should both answer this one. So simply put, Miku Pro or Nanit Pro?
I get this question a lot, but I gotta say I'm a Nanit guy. I think overall it's just a more holistic system, better performance. We just really like it. That said, I gotta give a lot of props to Miku because it is insane what it can do. It can track vitals without the use of wearables, which that's nuts. Like not just for babies, but for people. You can stand right next to it and it can tell you whether or not you're breathing. That's crazy what it's capable of doing. But for me, knowing that, why would I say Nanit still? It was just a connection issue. I got bounced off the system way too many times. I had to sync everything back up. It was just really unstable. I'd like to give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they've smoothed out some of those issues since then, because that was quite a few months ago. I've since had to test Cubo AI and Owlet and a bunch of others. So maybe they've smoothed out those issues, but at the moment overall, I gotta say, we're a Nanit family. John, what about you?
Yeah, we're also a Nanit family, and we have been for about the last 4 years. I really feel like they've led the way in innovating, and I love how easy the app is to use on top of how reliable it is. Now again, I feel compelled here to mention the Miku Pro because this monitor has made some majorly significant strides, especially as it relates to their app. So that, coupled with the insanely advanced hardware which allows the Miku Pro to monitor breathing without the use of any wearables, has taken this monitor to the next level, and honestly, it's becoming much harder for me to recommend one over the other. Now, Andrew and I have reviews of the Nanit Pro, and our channel actually has a review of the Miku Pro, so be sure to check those out to get some super deep insights into both those monitors, and we'll have links in the description below. Okay, so that being said, the Nanit Pro and the Miku Pro both offer breathing monitoring. So let's get your thoughts on breathing monitoring in general, and if you think it's a valuable thing to have with a baby monitor.
Yeah, good point. Let's talk about breathing monitoring real quick, because that is a major factor that people are gonna be thinking about when buying one of those two options. It's breathing monitoring. So what I would say is, well, they both work. I've tested it. If you go on my channel, I actually did test it with like a fake breathing doll. They both work. Miku works a little bit faster at alerting you. They both work. It's great. There's just a couple little annoyances with Nanit, even though I would still prefer that one. When you have to start the breathing monitoring every single night on the band, you have to like manually select like, hey, track those dots over there, and you have to like set it every single night. And it's kind of an annoyance. It is a first world problem, absolutely, but like it's just another step. With Miku, it just does it, which is really cool. That said, they both work great. Just minor annoyances because there is an actual wearable, but it's not bad. It's just a piece of cloth.
So this next question has to do with budget-friendly monitors that we would recommend, or any other monitor outside the Nanit Pro or the Miku Pro that we think people should be aware of. So I'll go ahead and take a stab at this one first, if you don't mind. Thanks. So for me, a solid budget option is the Lollipop Cam. Now it does all kinds of stuff that a lot of other monitors do, like 2-way audio, white noise, and some sleep tracking. But the coolest thing, or the most valuable thing for me with the Lollipop Cam, is the number of mounting options that it has. So you can mount it to the crib using its crib mount. You can wrap it around the crib bars or some other furniture you have with the stem, and you can mount it to the wall. So all kinds of mounting options with the Lollipop Cam, which is great, and is going to provide value well into the future once your baby moves out of the crib. So how about you, Andrew? What are some solid budget options for you, or any other monitor outside the Nanit Pro or the Miku Pro that you would recommend, or people should know about?
If you're looking for a more budget-friendly option, you're not in that $300+ tier for the Lumi, Cubo, Owlet, Nanit, all that other stuff, I would listen to John and check out Lollipop. That's a good alternative option. But another thing to look into is the Wisecam for like $20. It is not amazing. It's not the greatest, but it gets the job done. Can you see the baby? Yes. Can you use it remotely? Yeah, it's great. Can you hear the baby? No. But you can solve that by using a VTech DM221. It's a very simple sound monitor for continuous audio monitoring. As I mentioned, it is the most important feature that I look for. You can use that for $30 with a $20 camera, boom, $50, and you got a nice little monitoring system. Give it a shot.
All right, bonus rapid fire round. Explosions, graphics, and all kinds of fun stuff going on here. First up, what's the one monitor you could not in good conscience recommend even to your worst enemy?
I just don't trust anything from iBaby. I don't know why, I just don't. Also, Infant Optics DXR8, there are better options out there.
Can you use a security cam like the Nest Cam as a baby monitor?
Yes, absolutely. I think it works perfectly fine, especially if it blends with your current ecosystem, whether it's Nest or Ring or whatever. The only thing I would say is you're not gonna have continuous audio monitoring, which for me is the most important. So I would pair whatever camera you're using with a cheap sound monitor, probably from VTech.
What's a good monitoring option if you have twins or have little kids that share a room?
I'd say any of the top connected monitors. They all have apps where you can put in multiple cameras, so any one of those.
What's the best option for traveling?
Traveling, Eufy Space View. Plug and play, easy as pie. Do it.
Any monitors that can be integrated with Alexa or the like?
Ring, Nanit Plus, Hugo Hubble, Project Nursery, Arlo, any of the Amazon Cloud Cams.
All right, last and probably most important question of all. How good was I at moderating the substantially informative Q&A?
John, from a scale of 1 to 10, you were a Chipotle burrito, man. John, I'm so glad we got to do this. My final parting words are for the fellow dads out there. Keep crushing this wild game of fatherhood. There's no one way to do anything. You just gotta do what's right for you and what suits your style of parenting. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. That's all I've got. I'm gonna go make a pee-pee. Thank you. Later.
Okay, well, thank you for that bit of information. On that note, I'm going to go make a peeper also. Maybe a doo-doo. We'll see. We'll see how the mood strikes me. All right, in all seriousness, I want to express my sincere gratitude to Andrew for agreeing to be a part of this Q&A. He's got an amazing YouTube channel full of super informative product reviews that everyone should absolutely check out. So thanks again. It's been a lot of fun. We'll have to do this again sometime. And remember, head on over to fathercraft.com/showdown for some extremely useful information that will definitely help guide your baby monitor buying decision. All right, people, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.